The ancient world held many wonders, none as captivating as Alexandria. Founded by Alexander the Great, it became a center of trade and scholarship. The Library of Alexandria housed an unparalleled collection of scrolls. Scholars from all corners of the world flocked to its vibrant, intellectual atmosphere. This is the story of Hypatia, a woman of unparalleled intellect. She left an indelible mark on philosophy, mathematics, and astronomy. Join us as we delve into the life and legacy of Hypatia of Alexandria. The Lighthouse of Alexandria guided sailors, but the library illuminated minds. Scholars journeyed from distant lands to lose themselves in its halls. Hypatia walked these halls, her thirst for knowledge insatiable. She questioned, challenged, and sought to unravel the mysteries of the universe. Hypatia quickly rose to prominence, becoming a beacon in her own right. Hypatia was born into a world of knowledge. Her father, Theon, nurtured her exceptional intellect. She excelled in philosophy, mathematics, and astronomy. Hypatia became a renowned lecturer, captivating her students. Her influence extended far beyond academia, advising powerful figures in Alexandria. Hypatia's journey was intertwined with Neoplatonism. She saw mathematics and astronomy as pathways to understanding the divine. Her lectures were journeys of intellectual and spiritual discovery. Hypatia challenged her students to question assumptions and explore deeper mysteries. Her reputation as a brilliant teacher spread far and wide. Hypatia was a public intellectual, sought after by politicians and citizens alike. She moved between scholarship and public life, bridging gaps with her intellect. Her advice was invaluable during political turmoil and religious strife. Hypatia was a unifier in a city divided by factions. Her example stood as a beacon of hope in an era of growing intolerance. Hypatia's influence extended beyond philosophy and teaching. She was a prolific writer, contributing to mathematics and astronomy. Her commentaries preserved and transmitted ancient knowledge. Hypatia worked on revising Ptolemy's astronomical tables. Her legacy intertwined with her commitment to advancing scientific knowledge. Hypatia believed in a universe governed by harmony and order. She saw mathematics as the key to deciphering celestial music. Her work on Ptolemy's tables mapped the heavens. Hypatia's lectures inspired awe and curiosity in her students. She made complex astronomical concepts accessible and inspiring. Hypatia was a skilled observer and recorder of celestial phenomena. She spent hours charting the stars and noting anomalies. Her work on the astrolabe improved its accuracy and functionality. Hypatia's mastery of the instrument cemented her reputation. Her contributions inspired generations of astronomers. Hypatia excelled in geometry and algebra. Her commentaries on classical mathematicians were highly regarded. She explored conic sections, impacting geometry and physics. Hypatia saw mathematics as a dynamic field for exploration. Her work extended and enriched the intellectual legacy of the past. The 5th century AD saw a world in flux. Alexandria became a breeding ground for tension and unrest. The rise of Christianity challenged the old order. The city's streets echoed with discontent and religious fervor. The struggle for souls had profound political implications. Christianity gained dominance in the Roman Empire. The new faith challenged Alexandria's intellectual traditions. Cyril, the bishop of Alexandria, saw Hypatia as a threat. He exploited religious tensions to undermine her position. The clash between reason and faith had profound consequences for Hypatia's legacy. Section 3. The Sunset of Reason. As Christianity tightened its grip on Alexandria, the intellectual climate began to shift. Philosophical schools were increasingly marginalized. Knowledge was deemed suspect, even heretical. The library faced growing hostility. Its vast collection was seen as a threat. Hypatia refused to be silenced. She continued to teach and lecture. Her commitment made her a target. Fanaticism was gathering strength. The stage was set for a tragedy. Hypatia's life became a tragic footnote in Alexandria's history. Section 1. The Eagle and the Cross. The Roman Empire, once a mighty eagle soaring over the known world, now found its wings clipped. The once invincible legions, stretched thin by constant warfare and internal strife, struggled to maintain order. The empire's vast territories, once united under the rule of Caesar, were increasingly fractured by rebellion and secession. The rise of Christianity, once a minor irritant to the Roman authorities, now posed a fundamental challenge to the very fabric of the empire. The new faith, with its message of universal love and its rejection of traditional Roman gods, was seen by some as a threat to imperial authority. The emperors, accustomed to absolute obedience, found themselves grappling with a force that transcended earthly power. Constantine's conversion to Christianity in the 4th century AD had profound consequences for the relationship between the Roman state and the burgeoning church. What had once been a persecuted sect now enjoyed imperial patronage. Christianity, once a religion of the downtrodden, was embraced by emperors and embraced by the masses. This dramatic shift in power did not go unnoticed by the traditional guardians of Roman law and order. The Roman authorities in Alexandria, caught between their duty to maintain order and the growing influence of the church, found themselves walking a tightrope. Orestes, the Roman prefect, represented the secular power of Rome, tasked with upholding the rule of law in a city increasingly divided along religious lines. His position, once a symbol of unquestioned authority, was now a precarious balancing act. The seeds of discord between the Roman authorities and the Christian church were sown in Alexandria's complex social fabric. The city, a crossroads of cultures and religions, had long been a place where different beliefs coexisted. But the rise of Christianity introduced a new element into this volatile mix. Cyril, the ambitious bishop of Alexandria, was determined to assert the church's dominance. He saw the Roman authorities as an obstacle to his vision. Cyril skillfully exploited the growing religious fervor to consolidate his power. The conflict between Cyril and Orestes was a struggle for the soul of Alexandria. At stake was the nature of authority in a transforming world. The conflict between Cyril and Orestes played out against the backdrop of a city increasingly polarized along religious lines. The Christian community, emboldened by the growing power of the church, became more assertive in its demands. Pagan temples were targeted for closure or destruction, their sacred spaces repurposed for Christian worship. The Jewish community also found itself caught in the crosshairs of religious intolerance. Cyril incited violence against the Jewish population, leading to the expulsion of many. This act of religious persecution marked a dark chapter in Alexandria's history. Hypatia stood as a beacon of tolerance and intellectual freedom in this increasingly divided city. Her Neoplatonist philosophy offered a stark contrast to the exclusivist worldview espoused by Cyril. Hypatia's continued presence in Alexandria made her a target for those who sought to impose their narrow worldview. The forces of intolerance were gathering strength, and Hypatia would become a tragic victim of their zealotry. Alexandria, the city of knowledge, was succumbing to a different kind of darkness. Whispers laced with venom slithered through the bustling marketplace. Hypatia's name, once spoken with reverence, was now uttered with scorn and suspicion. The whispers accused her of witchcraft, of consorting with dark forces, of undermining the one true faith. These were dangerous times for those who dared to question, to think differently. Cyril, the architect of this climate of fear, watched from the sidelines. He knew the power of such whispers, how they could fester in the hearts of men, twisting reason into blind obedience. Hypatia, with her unwavering faith in logic and her open disdain for superstition, had become a threat, a symbol of the old ways that Cyril was determined to crush. Hypatia's students, once eager to absorb her wisdom, now hesitated at her door. Fear, an insidious poison, had seeped into the very heart of the academy. The pursuit of knowledge, once a noble endeavor, was now fraught with danger. The whispers, amplified by Cyril's agents, painted Hypatia as a heretic, an enemy of the people. Yet Hypatia refused to be cowed. She continued her lectures, her voice unwavering, her gaze steady. She spoke of reason, of the beauty of mathematics, of the grandeur of the cosmos. Her words, like sparks in the gathering darkness, ignited a flicker of hope in the hearts of those who still valued truth above blind faith. The Ides of March, a date etched in history as a harbinger of doom, cast a long shadow over Alexandria. The year was 415 AD. The city, already on edge, braced itself for the annual spectacle of the Great Fast, a time of religious fervor and penitence. But this year the air crackled with a different kind of energy, a palpable sense of menace. Hypatia, ever the creature of habit, made her way to the academy. The streets, usually bustling with activity, were eerily quiet. The faces that did appear were grim, their eyes downcast. Even the sun seemed to shine less brightly, as if sensing the impending darkness. As her chariot turned a corner, a group of men emerged from an alleyway. Their faces, contorted with hatred, were unfamiliar to Hypatia, but their intent was clear. These were not students eager for knowledge, but fanatics fueled by blind zealotry. They were Cyril's Parabolani, a mob of zealots masquerading as holy men. Hypatia's charioteer, sensing danger, urged the horses forward. But it was too late. The Parabolani, armed with clubs and stones, surrounded the chariot, their shouts of heathen and witch echoing through the empty streets. Section 3. A life extinguished. The mob descended upon Hypatia's chariot with a fury that shocked even the most hardened observers. They dragged her from the wreckage, her screams swallowed by the roar of their hatred. They tore at her clothes, their hands like claws, their eyes blazing with a terrifying mix of religious fervor and bloodlust. Hypatia, her body bruised and bleeding, looked for a flicker of humanity in their eyes but found none. These were not men driven by reason or justice, but by a blind, unreasoning rage that had poisoned their souls. They saw in Hypatia not a brilliant scholar, not a respected teacher, but an embodiment of all that they had been taught to despise: reason, intellect, and the pursuit of knowledge outside the confines of their narrow dogma. They dragged her through the streets, her blood staining the cobblestones, to the Caesareum, a once grand Roman temple that had been appropriated as a Christian church. Inside its hallowed halls, beneath the gaze of the newly installed Christian icons, they carried out their gruesome act. They flayed her flesh with shards of pottery, their laughter echoing off the marble columns, a chilling counterpoint to Hypatia's screams. And as her lifeblood spilled onto the mosaic floor, a darkness descended upon Alexandria, a darkness that would linger for centuries, a testament to the enduring power of ignorance and fanaticism to extinguish even the brightest of lights. Section 1. The Echoes of Her Mind. The brutal murder of Hypatia sent shockwaves through the Roman Empire. In Alexandria, a woman of unparalleled intellect was silenced by intolerance. Her death marked a turning point, a reminder of the fragility of knowledge. The echoes of Hypatia's mind refused to be silenced. Her teachings continued to resonate, carried by her students. The pursuit of knowledge, the power of reason, transcended her death. The Library of Alexandria, ravaged by fire, stood as a testament to ideas. Hypatia found immortality in the hearts and minds of those who remembered her. Section 2. A Timeless Martyrdom. Hypatia's death resonated far beyond the confines of 5th century Alexandria. Her story, a stark reminder of the dangers of intolerance and the fragility of civilization, has been told and retold throughout the centuries, each generation finding new meaning in her tragic fate. To some, Hypatia became a symbol of the enduring conflict between faith and reason, a martyr for the cause of scientific inquiry in the face of religious dogma. Her image, often depicted against the backdrop of a burning library, served as a potent reminder of the costs of suppressing intellectual freedom. Others saw in Hypatia's story a broader struggle against oppression, a testament to the power of one individual to challenge the status quo. Her courage in the face of adversity, her unwavering commitment to her principles resonated with those who fought for social justice, for equality, for the right to think and speak freely. In the 18th century, during the Enlightenment, Hypatia's story was rediscovered and embraced by thinkers who championed reason and secularism. She became an icon of the Enlightenment, her image adorning salons and coffee houses, her story inspiring a new generation to challenge traditional authority and embrace the power of human reason. Section 3. The Enduring Flame. Hypatia's legacy continues to inspire and challenge us today. In an age where information flows freely, where knowledge is just a click away, it is easy to take intellectual freedom for granted. Yet even in the 21st century, the forces of intolerance and dogma still lurk, eager to silence dissenting voices and suppress uncomfortable truths. The story of Hypatia reminds us that the pursuit of knowledge is not a passive activity. It requires courage, a willingness to question assumptions, and a fierce defense of the right to think freely. It is a reminder that progress, both intellectual and societal, is often met with resistance, and that the defense of reason requires vigilance and unwavering commitment. Hypatia's legacy is not confined to the halls of academia. Her story speaks to the human spirit, to our innate desire to understand the world around us, to push the boundaries of knowledge, to make sense of our place in the cosmos. It is a story that transcends time and place, reminding us that the pursuit of truth and the defense of reason are not merely intellectual exercises, but moral imperatives. As we navigate the complexities of the 21st century, facing new challenges and grappling with old prejudices, let us remember Hypatia of Alexandria, the woman who dared to know, who dared to teach, who dared to question. Let her story be a beacon, guiding us towards a future where knowledge triumphs over ignorance, where reason prevails over dogma, and where the enduring flame of intellectual freedom burns brightly for generations to come.